There's an ongoing joke in my family about an egg machine that I'm convinced existed on the side of a busy dual carriageway in the 80s. Nobody else will corroborate my story, yet I still believe it's the truth all these years later. There's a lesson to be learnt in that. Welcome to the Everyday Storyteller, a show for women with something to say. I'm your totally sane, not obsessed with egg machines host, Hilary Solzman. Okay, so the story goes. We'd regularly drive down the same road to visit my grandparents. On a lay-by, there was a makeshift egg machine. You put money in it and you could take out a box of eggs. It's not really that fantastical, so why would I make it up? And why would my family, despite always being in the car with me, now claim it never existed? This got me thinking. We all have stories that are so ingrained in our minds, we believe them to be true. Sometimes, even though we understand logically they're probably made up, we continue to believe them as they're a source of comfort or joy. But what about the stories that aren't helpful? The stories that are actually an uncomfortable source of negative emotions. You know the type, the ones we tell ourselves over and over that stop us doing things, that get in the way of our ambitions and hold us back from our potential. Surely if we can embellish stories, if we can add entertaining anecdotes that don't really matter if there's actual truth in them because they make us feel good, then we can take away the things that exist to do the exact opposite. We're all in charge of our own narratives. Although it may not always feel like it, and it's certainly not easy, we can control what we believe and what we don't. We can break the chain of negative thought. And what better way to do this than creating new stories? Stories that build on real life experiences of when you've succeeded, even when it was hard, that you can play on repeat next time you face something tricky, knowing that if you've got through it once, you can do it again. For example, I get really anxious when I have a lot of deadlines and not a lot of time to complete them. I used to tell myself the most dreadful stories. If I was better at what I did, I wouldn't be in this situation. It's all because I'm not good enough. You know how it goes. But a few years ago, I decided to make a change and I looked for evidence of my failure. All those times when the deadlines got too much and I wasn't able to deliver to my clients, all the angry emails, the cancelled contracts. Funnily enough, I couldn't find any. And that was the moment everything changed. So now, when I'm panicking about not having enough time, I have a quiet word with myself to remind me that I've never not figured out a way to do it all, and this time will be exactly the same. So today, have a think about a negative story you regularly tell yourself and go and look for the evidence to back it up. If it's not there, and I really doubt it will be, rewrite the story, stick it up somewhere in your office to come back to the next time that unhelpful story crops up. P.S. If you regularly drove along the A34 south of Oxford, near a place called East Ilsley, in the mid to late 80s, maybe early 90s, and remember the egg machine, please do let me know. I would so love to be right. Thanks.